Tonight on The South Today, Otago's Polish heritage is on show in Port Chalmers with a celebration 150 years in the making. Gore gets a housing boost as the fresh seal goes down on the town's biggest new subdivision since the 80s. And the Bangladesh women's cricket team are enjoying their tour despite continuing a losing run in Queenstown. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Members of Otago's Polish community made their way to Port Chalmers on Tuesday from across New Zealand to celebrate a major milestone. The first organised group of Polish settlers arrived in Dunedin by boat 150 years ago, and many descendants of those pioneers were on hand to celebrate.
Polish colours proudly on show in Port Chalmers. It's the 150th anniversary of the region's first large group of Polish settlers who arrived on board the sailing ship Palmerston. The Honorary Consul General of Poland unveiled a commemorative plaque at the Port Chalmers Town Hall in front of a proud audience, including many direct descendants of those first arrivals. The group also stopped off at nearby Back Beach for a photo opportunity and the chance to take in the view that first greeted their ancestors. It wasn't an easy process for the sea-weary settlers eager to start their new lives.
As much as they were looking forward to stepping on the solid ground after 109 days at sea, that didn't happen for them.
There was suspected scarlet fever on board, but Quarantine Island was already at capacity, meaning the settlers were instead quarantined off the Aramoana Spit.
They arrived on the 6th of December and they were let out of quarantine on a Christmas Day. And there were beaches, the sunshine. When in Poland, when they left, it was the winter coming. So that must have been cultural shock.
Many of those original settlers worked on key infrastructure projects around the south, including the construction of the railway network. Families are proud they can still trace their roots and credit the work of the region's Polish Heritage Trust, which organised the anniversary events. In Dunedin, The South Today.
A Christchurch dog walker who died after he was allegedly stabbed multiple times can now be named. Nigel Wilson, aged in his 60s, died 8 days after being attacked at Bexley Reserve in mid-November. The alleged murderer, 18-year-old Bailey Mesavie, made a first appearance in the Christchurch District Court this morning via video link. Mesavie is now facing a murder charge and didn't enter any plea. He was remanded in custody to appear in the High Court in early February. Southland contractors say construction of a new subdivision in Gore should be finished by the end of January next year, provided the weather plays ball. The major roads into the area have been named after native trees and are now fully sealed and ready for residents.
Matai Ridge is the newest address in Gore. The subdivision's been worked on for the last few years, and those behind the project are confident it should be ready for further development by the end of next month.
We're a little bit of footpath to do in the cul-de-sac, and then the basin's about 80% complete. So once that's all done, we'll be topsoiling all of the lots and just tidying those up, and then hopefully ready to hand over end of January.
Wilson Contractors site manager Cody McKenzie says the project is now in its final stages. Graham Maxwell from real estate agency First National Gore says titles for the 36 sections should be released by March 2023. Allowing for houses to start going up.
So we've had 36 sections on the market with Matai Ridge in 2 stages, and now we've got just 5 sections left in the development. Development sort of works have been undertaken over the last year, and we've now got a street formed and footpaths, and it's all been done to a really, really high standard.
Matai Ridge is Gore's newest and largest residential subdivision since the 1980s. The modern new homes are expected to sell for between $700,000 and $800,000. 2 of the main roads at the Gore subdivision, Kahikatea Drive and Kowhai Place, are being sealed this month. In Gore, The South Today.
An Australian on a mission to cross the world on foot started his globetrotting run in New Zealand over the weekend. Tim Franklin is aiming to run right across the world in record time. He began his epic journey over the weekend in Queenstown. And while he's raising money for charity, he also has a message to share along the way.
The plan is just I want everyone to start moving again more. I feel like we're becoming sedentary as a race. A lot of sitting down, working a lot longer hours, watching a lot more TV, etc. And then with COVID as well, that we stopped moving and the community got a lot smaller. So I want everyone to move again.
Tim is hoping to run all the way to Auckland Airport before jetting off to the United States to continue his huge journey on foot. He's expecting to finally arrive home in Brisbane in early 2024. And you can follow Tim Franklin's journey online at timrunstheworld.com. Well, the Bangladesh women's cricket team have been making the most of Queenstown ahead of their final T20 match against the White Ferns this afternoon. They're relishing the tough international competition, but have also been enjoying some of New Zealand's scenic attractions.
The Bangladesh women's cricket team tour continues, arriving in Queenstown on Tuesday afternoon and rearing to go for their third T20 match against the White Ferns. Bangladesh's captain Jyoti reckons the Queenstown Event Centre has the best looking pitch they've played on so far. The White Ferns already hold an unsaleable 2-0 lead in the T20 series, but the young visitors are still aiming to be competitive.
This is our first FTP tour for women cricket, and obviously we are waiting for long for this because we always wanted to play more international matches, and this is it actually, and we just wanted to get all the experience and obviously play good cricket.
The girls hope they can be an inspiration to young women and potential future cricketers back home in Bangladesh.
There are a lot of young cricketers there who wanted to be a cricketer, and obviously they actually motivated from us.
The Bangladesh team were hoping to restore some pride in their final T20 against the White Ferns, but it's not the end of their tour. They'll be changing tactics to focus on the 3 one-day internationals in the North Island, in Queenstown, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. One of the largest street art festivals in the Southern Hemisphere opens down south, and Matoda school kids go multi-platform with their latest interactive art project.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities,
including little box.
Don't mention Christmas! There's huge savings on beds, bedroom, lounge, dining and much more. Plus 50% off all outdoor furniture. And you can pay it off over 24 months interest-free.
Being a big softie takes training. I've gone to great lengths to be super soft while still being strong and reliable. So I'm soft on you and soft on the environment.
Cotton Soft, proud sponsor of Bowel Cancer New Zealand.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Ngākoe, welcome back. Some of the country's top street artists are letting their public murals do all the talking this week in Invercargill. 22 artists were invited to produce large-scale pieces throughout the central business district in a special artist trail.
Marching into Mataura School to proudly show their work and highlighting what they've learnt about the local area. These Southland pupils have spent many hours creating artworks in class, and they were proud to be the first to see the completed exhibition alongside a special guest from the Mataura Museum before families got to see the show.
So today we've had the grand opening with our kids because we wanted them to see how important their work was, and we've been really privileged to have representatives of our local museum, the Mataura Museum.
Principal Susan Dennison says the exhibition required the pupils to exercise more than just their art skills, linking into the New Zealand History's Aotearoa curriculum. Each child was tasked with creating an art piece based on a local story, or pūrākau, from the Mataura area. They then had to record their own retellings of those stories, which exhibition visitors can listen to as they look at the works on show.
So they'll come through and they'll be able to look and scan the QR code and listen to their kids retelling a local story.
Pupils were assisted by the team at Mataura Museum in gaining local knowledge and accessing archive photos, with local topics including the history of the town's 3 bridges, Mataura Falls, a local Māori chief, and the origin of street names. In Mataura, the South Today.
Well, apologies for that. We will bring you the story about the art trail tomorrow's show. But now we'll recap tonight's top stories on the South Today. Otago's Polish community marked 150 years since their ancestors sailed into Port Chalmers for a new life. 2 new roads are almost finished in Gore, marking the next stage of construction at the Matai Ridge subdivision. And the Bangladesh women's cricket team are enjoying their tour of New Zealand despite losing their final T20 match in Queenstown. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the Associate Editor Jo Simpson. Hello Jo.
Hi.
Now what can we expect in your paper?
Over the next 30 years, Dunedin is expected to have enough development capacity for about double the new homes that is expected to be needed.
Wow, that's a huge number.
And it's about around 30,000, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
A significant retail revitalisation project is underway in South Dunedin. It's Great King Edward Street, and it has been applauded by the Mayor. And we have Joan celebrating her 102nd birthday with whitebait fritters.
Oh really? That's her lunch of choice?
Yes.
Oh bless, we look forward to reading more in your paper tomorrow. Thank you, Jo.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, it's looking mild and humid for a few days as north to northeasterly airflow blows over the region. At the weekend, low pressure systems will move over the South Island from the Tasman Sea, bringing unsettled weather. Heading to the top of the South Island, cloudy with fresh nor'easterlies and 21 degrees in Nelson and Greymouth tomorrow. Fresh winds in Christchurch too, with a high of 19. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, high cloud and another day of nor'easterlies through here, 21 in both Ashburton and Timaru, with Oamaru getting up to 17 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, high cloud and northerlies and warm temperatures tomorrow. By numbers, expect 23 in Wanaka and Alexandra, or 22 degrees if you're in Queenstown. Heading further south, fresh northerlies and high cloud are on the way for Balclutha and Gore tomorrow, along with a high of 21, while the Catlins can expect fresh nor'easterlies and an overcast day with 17 degrees. And down to the deep south, well, fine with high cloud tonight in Invercargill, dropping to 11 degrees. Now for the next few days, it's shaping up to be breezy with northerlies and a high cloud with warm temperatures of 23 or 22 degrees. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Cloudy tonight, down to 11. Possibly a shower or two tomorrow late afternoon, but otherwise a cloudy and windy day, up to 18 is the high. And into Friday, cloudy with sunny breaks and warm winds, along with a high of 20 degrees before the weekend. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite apopo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.